and welcome to our new channel.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Chaba, and in today's video we are going to build a cabinet.
It's not just any cabinet, it's to hide this bad boy.
Alright, so this is the room we are going to have our cabinet in. And as we mentioned before, it's going to be a large one because we want to fit these shoes in it, and we also want to fit the cat litter box in it. And the structure will be built from wooden beams, 45 by 45, and then the rest will be covered by plywood. And then we are going to add some designing details with the wooden beams that are 28 by 70, and those will be on the sides and also on the two doors. And the main idea is that the cabinet will look like something like this, that it will go out from the wall 500 millimeters and then go about 1400 millimeters in length. And that the main reason that we are not going all the way to the wall is because we have a door here and we are not going to be able to open it. And now that you have gotten an idea of what we're going to do, we can jump to the time lapse. So, as you saw, we got everything we had measured off camera, and we tried different tools that we had on hand, such as this beauty.
Even though they worked well, it took a lot of time and elbow grease, so we decided to borrow some power tools, which made the process very fun and effective.
And next part of the build is the sanding part, which we both are not a big fan of, because yeah, sanding means that everything in the room will be dirty. Dusty, very dusty. So we are very thankful to have a separate room for that. But it is a necessary step because we really want a nice and smooth finish on our cabinet.
We started at 80 grit and went up to 180 grit. It took lots and lots of time and very dusty.
Yeah, I think it took us about maybe 5 or 6 hours just to go from 80 to 180, and the paint manufacturer recommended that we should go to 240 grit.
But considering the surface was very smooth and it felt nice, we decided to stop at 180 despite their recommendations, and we will see how that affects the final results. But now you're gonna see us sand, and you're gonna have to spot which safety equipment we forgot to use.
Yay!
Yay!
Now that we have a smooth finish, it's time to assemble! Woo! For this part, we scoured the apartment to find everything we need. Maybe some feet here.
And some screws there.
And lastly, our favorite Gorilla Glue and some knobs to hide these pesky screw holes.
First we will make the structure out of the beams, and then we will screw and glue on the plywood onto the beams. Now
it's time to assemble!
mentioned earlier, we cut everything down to size. What we didn't think about was that the beams might be crooked. This led to the doors not fitting properly.
At this point we had already given back our borrowed tools, so we had to use this bad boy. And it worked surprisingly well. We thought that the blade might mess up the plywood because how harsh it looked, but it saw through it like butter. Now that everything fits, it's time to paint!
We used the black hard wax oil for this step, which allows the texture of the wood to come through. It is a very opaque paint, but you can still see the lines through it, which we thought looked really cool.
Yeah, and the black color of the cabinet matches the rest of the apartment because we have a lot of white and grey and black furniture here. So it matches really well. But the thing is that after everything dried up, we realized that our cabinet, our smooth cabinet, turned into a very harsh cabinet. Or not very, but you can feel the difference.
It's rougher than when we had just sanded, so maybe you should follow the recommendations of the paint company.
Yeah.
It's been 10 days since we started, and half of which has been spent painting and waiting for it to dry. Now it finally has.
Yay! The wooden fibers decided to stand up after the paint was applied, and it dried like that, which is very common for wood to do and the reason for the change in the feel of it. Therefore, we decided to try to sand it very lightly on a surface that wasn't visible with 320 grit sandpaper, because this is what we had available. This removed the grippy feeling but preserved the paint underneath. So we repeated it for the entire cabinet and the doors. Now everything is ready to be assembled. To make it a little fancier, we also installed the motion detecting light inside the cabinet, so the cats will have a little guiding light before they enter the box. Cats are nocturnal and don't need the light, but we felt it was a cute thing to add. In the future we might add something to make it smell less, but we haven't decided what yet. If you are going to do a cabinet like this and want something to remove odor, you need to keep in mind that it can't be too fragranced, because cats might not like it and might reject the box.
For decoration on top of the cabinet, we relocated a few things from around our apartment. At last, we placed our shoes and the cleaning tools for the litter box inside. And it's done.
Yay! But before we show you the final result, we want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this amateur build, make sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. And now it's showtime!